Hello everyone, I'm Grace. Welcome back to my channel. Last week we talked about two ways of using the Chinese adverb 就. One is that 就 can be used to express a thing or action that happens earlier or sooner than expected. Another one is by using 就 as a conjunction word. Today I'm going to give you another two ways to help you get a general sense of how to use this word. Okay, let's get into it. The first one is by using 就 to show preciseness or limitation. You can use 就 to exclude another thing's person or condition. Let's look at some examples.
好了，小琪，他就是爸的好朋友，阿丽呀，阿丽。
他就是爸的好朋友。他就是爸的好朋友。If you want to say he is Dad's good friend, you can just say 他是爸的好朋友。But we added this 就 to emphasize that that person is Dad's good friend instead of others. Also, like if you and your friend are in a restaurant and you two need to choose a place to sit and then you find a good one, then you can say 我们就坐这边吧。我们就坐这边吧。Adding 就 here emphasizes that we can just sit here instead of other places. Also, you can use this 就 in an imperative sentence. This 就 indicates preciseness or a limitation. If you put it into your imperative sentence, it sounds like you didn't ask the person to do many things for you. You were just asking him or her to do one little favor. So most of the time, when people want to ask others to do something, they add this 就 to sound more persuasive. Let's look at some examples.
你先带他走一次上学的路吧。
湘琴刚来，你就带他走一次上学的路吧。湘琴刚来，你就带他走一次上学的路吧。In this case, the speaker wanted her son to take the girl to school. She asked her son to do this favor, and she added 就 in her imperative sentence to sound more persuasive. Here is another example.
没关系啦，他老板我认识，我可以帮你打个折啊。真的吗？真的呀？就用你的美色帮我打点折了，好不好？好。
你就用你的美色帮我打点折啦，好不好？你就用你的美色帮我打点折啦，好不好？ Here, the speaker also added 就 in her imperative sentence to imply that you just do me this little favor, okay? So people often use 就 in imperative sentences to sound more persuasive. Besides, you can use this 就 to strengthen your tone or express your certainty. For example, last time we mentioned that 就要 has another meaning, so you can say 我就要吃这个，我就要吃这个。Here, adding this 就 can show your certainty to emphasize that you just want that, nothing else. This is another example.
那你呢？你没下去跳啊？我就不相信你没有牵其他女生的手。
是有稍微牵一下啦。
我就不相信你没牵过其他女生的手。我就不相信你没牵过其他女生的手。The speaker used 就 here to emphasize that she doesn't believe something. So here, 就 is used to strengthen her tone. Okay, let's talk about another usage of 就. We can use 就 to show that a quantity is larger or smaller than expected. Yes, I know this is tricky. You might be confused because when 就 relates to quantity, it can represent two opposite concepts. But don't worry, let's take a look at some examples first. First one, 我们一年就见一次面。我们一年就见一次面。So here, because seeing each other once a year is kind of a low frequency, you can use 就 in this sentence to imply that the quantity is smaller than expected. But if you just want to describe the fact without any personal thoughts in it, you can just say 我们一年见一次面。我们一年见一次面。So when showing that the quantity is smaller than expected, 就 can be translated into only. Then let's look at the second example where 就 is used to show quantities larger than expected. 他昨天就看了5本书。他昨天就看了5本书。In this sentence, we added 就 to imply that he can read 5 books on one day. Oh my god, that's so many. So 就 here is to show that the speaker feels like the quantity is larger than expected. Also, if you just want to describe this fact, you can directly say 他昨天看了5本书。他昨天看了5本书。Okay, at first, you might be a bit worried about how to distinguish the meaning of 就 when it's related to quantity. But by now, you might have realized that you can just use the context to figure out the meaning. Like in the first example, they just see each other once a year. It's a small quantity, so we use 就 here to show that the quantity is smaller than expected. However, as for the second example, he read 5 books yesterday. It's a large quantity, so we use 就 to show that the quantity is larger than expected. Okay, after learning these two ways, let's review all the ways to use 就. You can use 就 in 4 ways. First, 就 can be used to express a thing or action that happens earlier or sooner than expected. Second, you can use 就 as a conjunction word to connect a condition or reason with the next action or result. The third one is what we talked about today. You can use 就 to show preciseness or limitation. And in this usage, you can use 就 to exclude other stuff, people, or conditions. Or put it in an imperative sentence to sound more persuasive. Also, you can use this 就 to strengthen your tone and to express your certainty. The final one is to use 就 to show that a quantity is larger or smaller than expected. It depends on the context. Okay, that's it for today. I hope these 2 lessons can help you finally get a good sense of understanding this word and how to use it. So next time when you come across this word 就, think about why people use that in that particular context. I'm sure you will gradually get used to it. Alright, I will see you next time. Bye!